Hello. So in today's vlog, I'm going to be reading a book called Magnolia Parks, which was brought to my attention by the lovely Lachlan from Locke's Library. She basically posted on her Instagram story that she could not stop crying from this book, and it was tearing at her soul, and it was trauma, and I was like, okay, that means that's gonna be my next favorite book. So I am buddy reading it with my friends Hannah from Hannah's Recent Reads, Rachel from A Raven-Haired Reader, and Amanda from Which Book Next. I will leave everyone's socials linked down below, so if you want to go check them out, you can. But I started this book yesterday. No, not yesterday, maybe like a few days ago by now. But it is quite good. The writing is like kind of all over the place for me right now. It is not the writing style I feel like I'm used to, but I'm gonna give it like a little bit of time to see if I end up really liking it. It's not stream of consciousness, but it like feels very like just splurging all of my feelings out onto the paper, which I love it. Magnolia Parks is a book about this couple. I think it's a romance. I'm not really sure if it is, but it's about a messy, complicated couple living in London. And basically it sounds like it's a very messy, just like back and forth relationship, in and out of the relationship all the time. That sounds like my kind of book. I don't know if it's going to be like a deep introspective type of thing or if it's going to be a fun time, but I'm here for either of it. Sounds like Lachlan, she made it seem like it is torturous to the soul, and that's what I want as well. So today is like really, really dreary outside. I am going to just read, I think. Read and listen to the rainfall and cry my eyes out reading this book. This is a book in a 3-part series, and I'm really, really interested to see if I'm gonna enjoy it. It is quite a chunky book. It's like over 500 pages. The book was available on Libby for me to borrow, so I did that, and then I read the prelude to the entire book and immediately bought the book because I was like, I think I'm gonna love this. Yeah, right now, all I know is we're getting to know who Magnolia and BJ are as people. Those are the two love interests, and you're flipping back and forth between points of view. And sounds like they have been in just like a messy, complicated relationship for a long time. Like they sleep together sometimes, they sleep with other people sometimes. It's just like a messy, fun time. And I'm interested to see where it's gonna go and like what the plot's gonna be. So yeah, that's what's going on. That's what we're gonna be reading in this vlog, and see you in the next clip. Guess what? My book came. I thought it would be fun to do a little unboxing. Let's open it up. Oh my God, this is stunning. Oh my God, look at the back is the vibes. I'm dead. That is so, that's everything. That's exactly what I've been picturing. It's just like high society glam. Oh my God, I'm obsessed. I don't know if like, okay, so Magnolia and BJ, I'm not sure if they're like celebrities or very well-known figures in society, or like, I'm thinking they're equivalent to like Paris Hilton, where like their parents are really famous and like people just know who they are because their parents are really famous. I don't know. Oh my gosh, this cover. I don't even know what it reminds me of. Like okay, the first time I saw it, it looked like a gnome tree or something like that to me, like those little like fairy garden trees. That's what I thought, but I have no idea what any of it means, but it's all beautiful to me. I love this. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to highlight. I definitely think I'm gonna tab this book because some of the quotes that I'm already reading are so great. Oh my God, I'm obsessed. I love it. I love this. I'm probably about 50 pages in by now, so just having a great time. Hi, I have an update. First of all, number one, I have been tabbing because the quotes in here are 10 out of 10. This book is an R-rated, all too well 10-minute version, Taylor's version in a book. That's what it is. This is the most toxic relationship I've ever read, but I am along for the ride. Like, it's so toxic that you just can't look away. Is it a train wreck? Yes, but you're also like rooting for them. And then also like your heart is breaking every 2 seconds because it's just so toxic. I have like a very, very clear vision of what these people look like in my head. I am literally picturing people from Love Island 2022 UK as the main characters. And then also the setting that this is in is like high society London. And it is like Gossip Girl mixed with All Too Well, mixed with Love Island. This is all of my favorite things into one book. My friend Hannah from Hannah's Recent Reads was reading it, and she was already crying it to the point where I'm at right now. And I haven't cried yet because I don't feel like I'm like at that level of emotional attachment with them. Like basically I feel like I'm just getting a bird's eye view of the toxicity of this relationship, but we have gotten little like hints of like very deep rooted issues that these people have, well, that they're battling with. And I think that's where it's gonna get me. Like this is like high society, like para celebrity status. So these people are really, really rich. They have a ton of money. And you know, sometimes in those scenarios, people get like, they start having a drug abuse problem, and there is trigger warnings for drug abuse in here. And we've already kind of gotten a taste of that. That to me has been the most heartbreaking part. Like obviously the quotes of this relationship have been just traumatizing, but I think the reality of like actual mental health and like actual issues that they are going through, that's getting to me the most, I feel like at this point. I'm interested to see where it's going to go. Basically what's happening in their relationship, it's just like breakup, makeup. They're all like sleeping with other people and dating other people, and they keep crossing paths all the time, and they're like very close friends, and it's just mega toxic. Like one person hurts the other person, and then the other person hurts. Like it's just like back and forth. They are making each other in pain all of the time. I just don't know how they're going to get out of this toxic cycle if they are destined to be together. Like if these are the two main characters we are rooting for the entire series, how will they go from this like toxicity to actually forming into a healthy relationship? Or is that even gonna happen? I don't know what the trajectory of their relationship is at all, but I'm actually kind of enjoying it right now, and enjoying it in like a painful way. I don't know if that makes sense. I will have 5-star feels if we continue to get more of like the actual real life situation pain. Like if we continue to get more like, okay, someone is struggling with drug abuse, someone is struggling with mental health issues, or like if we get those kinds of things, I feel like that could turn it into a 5-star for me. Writing, off the bat, total 5-star. Like absolutely incredible. It is definitely a wild ride. Like you're just on a roller coaster the whole time, and these quotes are like literally Taylor Swift could sing them and hit me in the core. I'll just show you my tabbing system right here, okay? I don't even know if I can show that, but whatever. Basically I have BJ's lines, I have Magnolia's lines, and then I have Rip My Heart Out. I also have Quotes I Love, and then Sad / My Heart is Ripped Out on the Floor and Tears Are Endless. So that's where I'm at. It's going great. I'm interested to see how the end, like, I don't know. Hannah was just bawling at the ending, so it's gotta be a really good ending. Having a great time, but a sad time, but a great time. You know what I mean? Okay, love you guys, bye. I have got to say, BJ does not deserve Magnolia. Like, he kind of sucks. Like, really sucks. He needs to just be like better in a lot of ways. But I also think that she's setting him up to be, you know, this really awful guy who like doesn't treat women that well. And I'm really hoping he's gonna have like, I don't know, maybe like a come to Jesus moment or something and realize what he's doing is like terrible. I think he does realize what he's doing is terrible, but he can't stop his behavior. He just continues to like sleep with other women and like hit on other women, especially when she's like literally right there. And he's just very, very toxic in general. Like I feel like he's not ready for a relationship in any sense. But I'm hoping he kind of comes to his senses a little bit and maybe he is just like going through a phase. I don't know. But it's really tough to see her continually going back to him when like I feel like she deserves a lot better than him. I don't know. I'm hoping I'm going to find some redeeming qualities about BJ at this moment because right now I kind of don't like him at all. I mean, I like him maybe a little bit. I am enjoying the dynamics with like his friends and stuff like that, and I think that's really interesting, but like him as an individual and how he treats women, terrible, awful, hate it. Hoping we're gonna get better going forward, you know? But I think that's all part of the experience of this toxic relationship, so we'll see. Hello everyone. Sorry about this angle. I don't know what's going on. This baby right here, Magnolia Parks. I think in the last clip that I touched base with you, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna give this 5 stars. Well, I have thought about that a little bit more like 10 pages more, and I think we're leaning towards the 5 stars. I really, really am enjoying this. Can I just say, if Taylor Swift wrote a book, it would be this one. I'm not kidding you. This book is like the epitome of All Too Well. It truly is. If you don't know, I'm a huge Taylor Swift stan. So yeah, that's my vibe. But All Too Well is like almost like an innocent version of this book. And I don't even know if innocent, but you can tell with All Too Well that like she was young and she got hurt when she was young. And yes, these people are young too, but they're like definitely more like mature teenagers. Like they're like doing drugs and sleeping around. And like, I know Taylor Swift was not writing about that back in her day, but for sure the same vibes of that song are exactly what this book is. And I am living for it. I'm literally writing the lines of All Too Well all over these pages. Wait, I just want to read one line to you because I read this and I was like, yes, this is exactly. I've told you it's a toxic relationship, right? BJ is like this guy who is super in love with Magnolia, but like he's just going through a time. Like he's sleeping around. He's just like, he knows he really has feelings for her, but he like, it seems like he can't control himself, to be honest with you. And you know he regrets it, and like he feels really bad about it, but he keeps sleeping with other people. And Magnolia has only been with him. So listen to this line. I don't sleep around. I don't judge girls who do. It's still something to me. I've only ever been with BJ. And then she says, I've never wanted to do it with anyone else. I haven't figured out how to get past that feeling yet either. Feeling like it's just something for me and him. If that's not, you kept me like a secret, I kept you like an oath, I don't know what is. He is keeping her as his secret. They're not telling the tabloids. Like he's sleeping around, but like secretly keeping her to himself. And she is like, I have sworn to you, like you are mine and I don't want to be with anyone else. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Taylor Swift, read this book. PSA Taylor Swift, please, 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 please read this book, because this book can totally be extrapolated from your writing. And first of all, if Taylor Swift was ever watching this video, I would absolutely die. I would absolutely be dead, okay? But I'm just saying, like, this book is for Taylor Swift lovers. If you are a Swiftie, if you feel the feels when you listen to her songs and read the lyrics and just like feel every emotion that she puts into her music, you are going to love this book. The lines that Jessa Hastings writes just cut to your freaking core. And as a Swiftie, as a proud Swiftie, this book, I can tell you with no doubt in my mind, you will like that. Like, for real. The only way you wouldn't like it is if you don't like reading about like extremely toxic relationships. Like I was saying, All Too Well is like, yes, it's a toxic relationship, but it is almost like an innocent toxic relationship. Like Taylor Swift definitely had like a veil of innocence over her as she was kind of experiencing what she was experiencing. And you know, all of this is like hearsay and like whatever, but this is definitely more mature toxic relationship, and not mature. It's just very, very volatile and a little bit more R-rated content than All Too Well is or can come off to be. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you get what I mean? Okay, I hope you do, because I found the book. Can I just say, did I manifest this or did I manifest this? 2 months ago, I was lying in my bed and I legitimately tweeted out, I wish there were more books that were equivalent to All Too Well by Taylor Swift. And look what the universe brought me. I'm dead. Like this is manifestation at its finest. Could not be more pleased. I can't wait to see what the rest of the book is going to do. And I can't wait to relate more to Taylor Swift. It's amazing. Okay, but for real, this book is the Taylor Swift book. This book is for all of the Swifties out there who are just like, I just want to feel all of the feels. I want to like just drown in my emotions and sit here in this pain. And if you don't feel like that as a Swiftie, maybe I'm on a different level than you, but like that is my core. That is who I am as an individual. Love it. Okay, gonna keep reading, gonna keep tabbing. I'm just dead. Like, I feel like you could literally write a song about coming from all of these lyrics in this book, and it would be one of the most beautiful songs you ever heard. Like, Jessa Hastings, you are slaying the writing, okay? I'm obsessed. I am literally obsessed. 5-star feels, can't wait to keep reading. I'm gonna keep doing that. Okay, bye! Hi, okay, sorry I look literally disgusting, but I have a reason, okay? I went to the gym and I went on a run because your girl's training for a marathon. And guess what I listened to the whole time? Taylor freaking Swift, baby. And I must say, I think Jessa Hastings listened to Taylor Swift and was like, I'm gonna write a song about those experiences. Boom. But she like turned up the volume a little bit and made it British. You know, I'm here for it. Magnolia Parks, try Miss Britannica and the Heartbreak Prince, okay? I'm so here for it. I'm not kidding. Probably 75% of the songs that I listen to, not just from the Red album, which this is a Red album book, but like I was listening to Cruel Summer. He looks so pretty like a devil, BJ Valentine, okay? You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, done. It is exactly everything I want. I hope I'm hyping this up for you, because if I was me and I was watching my video right now, I'd be like, I want to buy that book, because this is everything that I ever want to buy in a book ever. This book is like if Gossip Girl was set in London. It has Love Island type beautiful characters like that, and combined with the emotional impact of Taylor Swift's songs, I mean, could you ask for anything more? This is every single thing I've ever wanted in a book ever. The only thing it's missing is fantasy, but that's okay. I don't need that right now. I'm talking real world. Is the relationship toxic to the point of total destruction for both characters? Yeah, it totally is. And I'm not denying that for 1 second. As I'm reading through this book, I'm literally gonna have a catalog of the Taylor Swift lyrics, and I'm just gonna be writing them in, because it applies so much to this. Like, not only does it capture All Too Well, but it captures the entire Red album as a whole is this book, and pretty much all of her other repertoire, okay? It's just emotional, like, bleeding. That is this book. I just hope I conveyed to you how much this book is my life. Like, this is everything I ever need. And the quotes are just incredible. I don't think I can give this anything less than a 5-star, to be honest with you. I'm gonna keep reading. I'm on page like 150. It's just like the most toxic thing ever, but I can't look away. And like, it's not even that I can't look away, like a bad look away. It's like, I can't stop reading. It is so capturing to me, captivative. It's 10 out of 10. Okay, bye. One thing I forgot to say, BJ Valentine, you better not turn into Jake Gyllenhaal because I will literally excommunicate you from my brain, okay? We got no time for that. Show up to her 21st birthday, okay? No, I'm sorry for giving you an update every 2 sentences of this book, but let me just say, okay, a few things that I forgot to say before. Sad, beautiful, tragic. Straight up sad, beautiful, tragic, okay? It is beautiful magic love affair. Can I just set the vibe of my night right now? Number 1, thunderstorm. It is pouring rain outside. I have my Taylor Swift sweatshirt on. You can't really see it, but trust me, Taylor Swift's face is on here. And we are reading a Taylor Swift fan fiction novel, it feels like to me. I just cannot tell you how this completes my life. Like, was this book written for me? God, I can't get over it. Also, I'm listening to Taylor Swift as I'm reading this book. It can't get any better than this. My worlds have collided. Listen to this line. All that shit between them and how angry it makes me courses through me and then falls on me like a piano. You broke her first. Dead. I was listening to Better Man and like that's just the vibe that I get. Like, I wish you were a better man. If this is too much Taylor Swift from you, you're on the wrong channel, honey. I will stand her for my entire life till the day I die, okay? And the fact that I get to make a video paralleling her music to this book is all I've ever wanted in my entire life. I can't even express, okay? God, what a time to be alive. I'm loving my life. Also, I have some tea and it's quite nice. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. Listen to this. Listen to this. And it would be BJ who would make me fearless and safe and hopeful. If that's not a nod to Taylor Swift, I don't know what is. Fearless? Her Grammy Award winning album? Are you kidding? Dead. Dead, 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 dead. Literally, she's talking about being fearless at the time in her life when she was young and vulnerable and with the first love of her life. Taylor Swift. I just finished this. I just finished this book and I'm fuming. I'm pissed. I'm so frustrated right now. Like, I am visibly having a reaction. These characters are so frustrating, so aggravating. Oh my God, I'm so upset. I go through this whole freaking book and then the ending is like that. I actually really like the ending because I was not suspecting it. I cannot with these characters. Tom doesn't deserve this, you guys. I'm so pissed. Okay, this is about a toxic relationship, right? It is about a toxic, the most toxic thing you've ever seen in your entire life relationship. I'm so upset because number one, I would never want any of my friends to go through this ever. BJ, get your shit together, man. Like, this is your own freaking fault. You did this to yourself. You literally did this to yourself. You knew what you were doing. Just because you have all these feelings and like all of this stuff doesn't excuse your freaking behavior. There is no excuse for what you're doing. Your actions clearly speak louder than your words. I'm so pissed about it. Way to go, Jessa Hastings, for evoking this kind of reaction. I can't. I can't. Literally, the whole book is just people self-sabotaging themselves. I would never want my best friend to be in that kind of a relationship. Like, I would never want that for myself. I would never want that for anyone I know. It is so toxic. It's so self-sabotaging. They're so codependent on each other, and it's just like they're investing their whole life and self-worth in the other person, and it's just the most toxic thing ever. Like, go to therapy. Go to therapy. Go work on yourself. That is not okay, and it's not normal. But like, props to Jessa Hastings for writing this kind of book, because I feel so upset right now, and I think this is exactly how I'm supposed to feel, and I'm just like super pissed, okay? Super pissed. I don't even think I've mentioned Tom throughout this whole vlog, so I'm gonna explain my feelings with Tom right now. This whole book has been like kind of almost like a little bit of a love triangle. Like, Magnolia, her long lost lover is BJ, but she's in this relationship with this guy named Tom, and he is just like a gem. He is like a Hemsworth. He is just a beautiful human, and he has his own problems too, don't get me wrong. He definitely does. But like, the way that he responds to the behaviors that are going on between these two, first, so mature. Like, he does not have to put up with this at all. He does not have to. I stan him. I am a Tom stan. I want the best for him in his life. He has some things to work out, but like, thank God for just like being mature, okay? Also, Bridget, the sister, absolutely love her. Thank you for being the voice of reason. Thank you for being the mature adult here, even though you are younger than these two humans. Want the best for her in life as well. BJ, nope. I've had it. I've had it. I've had enough with your behavior. You are so toxic. Ugh, the passages for him were so beautiful. The way he described like his love for her, stunning. But like, the way he treats people, the way he treats her, the way he treats himself is just vile. Like, you have problems, dude. Some of his chapters are like, he's talking about how much he feels for Magnolia and how much he wants to be with her and like loves her and all this kind of stuff. And like, he'll be like, oh my God, the way she's looking at me, blah, 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 blah. And then he will just like gut punch her with like some terrible, nasty line. I don't see any pathway for BJ and Magnolia to actually be happy together ever in their entire future. I don't think I could get over what he has done to her at all, ever. Like, that is just toxic behavior. I really, really, really liked it though. Like, a lot. I felt I was binge reading it the whole time. Like, it was like I couldn't look away. It was so good. But I'm just like, it is beyond toxic. And I don't think that there is any part of me that would ever celebrate that relationship resolving, because it's just that kind of stuff that's not going to end with them ending up together, right? Like, that's going to continue to prevail in the relationship over and over and over again. And like, maybe you can forgive the behavior, but it's always going to be in the back of your mind of like, what happened? That's not something that is a healthy relationship. That is not something that should be celebrated. That whole relationship is so messed up. They need to go to therapy and they need to not be together. I said it. I don't think they should be together. I'm sorry if it is not the opinion you wanted to hear. I'm sorry, but that is how I feel. And if that's what you want out of a relationship, like, that's not normal. And you know what? I'm gonna probably say my rating later because I don't know it. But going back to the theme of this video being centered around Taylor Swift, I just want to take away from the plot for 1 second, because I do need to celebrate Jessa Hastings as an author. Number one, the fact that you're getting me to react like this, way to go. You did it. That's awesome. The writing was so good. There are quotes in here that are just like, pull your heart out, drag it on the ground, stomp on it, crush it, everything. It was amazing. Like, she is the Taylor Swift of writing. Like, she has lines that will just cut you to the core, rip your heart open, and I love it. Like, she is an incredible author, and I'm really glad that I read this. I feel like this is the kind of romance I can get behind. Like, I felt like the characters were very well formed in my brain. Obviously, I did not feel connected to these characters at all. Like, from a personal standpoint, their lifestyle and who they are as people is so far removed from my lifestyle, so I don't feel like I connected to them in that kind of sense, but I do felt like I connected with them like emotionally. Jessa Hastings really described the emotional turmoil that they were going through so well. Like just the way that she compared the feelings that these two people were having and described them in like just in the most beautiful manner. I really, really, really enjoyed that. And I would totally want to continue reading this series just because her writing was so beautiful. Like you can get quote after quote and just like hang them up on your walls. They're just stunning vocabulary and stunning sentences. It's just 10 out of 10. I really, really loved that. But I'm personally upset with the situation. Like the toxicity of it all is very, very frustrating. But I knew that like going into this book, this is not a book that is like happy, okay? We know going into this book that it is about a toxic relationship. And that is something that like I very much acknowledge. So I feel like I shouldn't be rating it based on like me wanting these characters to be together, because that's not what the book is about, you know? Like it's about a very, very toxic relationship. And like the fact that I feel so uprisen about them, I think says something a lot about her as an author. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what my rating is right now. I'm telling you, it's not less than a 4-star. I don't know if it's a 4 or 5. I have to sit with it for a little bit. I think it's just because the characters are so frustrating. But at the same time, like that's supposed to be like that. So I'm gonna sit with the rating for a little while and I'll probably get back to you just for a quick little wrap up on this vlog in a little while. I need to just sit with my thoughts for a second, okay? I have to say, it's been 45 minutes since I finished the book. I'm still reeling. I'm still processing. I'm still so freaking mad. I'm listening to Taylor Swift to just express my emotions. This book is just, it's Red. This is Red Taylor's version. Every single song on this is this book. All Too Well, yes. Better Man. Better Man. That is the vibe. That is the vibe. Red, absolutely. Treacherous, yes. I Knew You Were Trouble, 1,000,000%. 22, not really. I Almost Do, yes. We Are Never Getting Back Together, absolutely 100%. The Last Time, Sad, Beautiful, Tragic. Also, The Moment I Knew, Come Back, Be Here. Every single song on this album, other than the ones that are talking about her being like coming into fame, are this book. And this is the only album I need right now to process my feelings, is to just listen to Red, Taylor's version, and sit here and, I can't. I'm so frustrated. I need some time. I'm back. I have taken some time for myself, maybe about 2 hours to process. And this is what I did in those 2 hours. I went to the grocery store and I listened to Taylor Swift's album of Red. And I stand by what I have said before. This book, this freaking book, it is the Red Taylor's version of books. I will die on this hill, okay? If you want the feeling that you get when you listen to Red, Taylor's version, this is the book for you. And I want to say this with a major, major caveat. If you have been in a toxic relationship or are someone triggered by toxic relationships and cheating, and that is something that is like, yeah, like very triggering for you, I probably would go into this book with a lot of caution, because this book was triggering for me. And like, I haven't been in this toxic of a relationship before, but I have experienced similar feelings in past relationships that are like, have similar vibes to this book. And that's why, like, when I think about Taylor Swift's Red album, I relate to it so much in thinking about that past experience that I've had. But this is the book version of that, okay? This is the book form, and like, it can be really, really triggering reading this and like having experienced even something remotely like emotionally similar to a toxic relationship. Do you know what I mean? So yes, I would exercise a lot of caution if you are triggered by those things. I gotta say though, as difficult and as frustrating and painful as this book was, I am going to give it a 5 stars. I loved the writing. I loved the writing. And there are so many quotes in here that literally just like mimic the way that Taylor Swift writes her music. And that is like something I love. Like, they're just quotes that will just break your heart. And it's amazing. I also loved the setting. I loved like the high society London, just like relationships, like para-celebrity status. It was amazing. I loved that vibe. It was just like the perfect setting for this book. But the way that I feel about BJ and Magnolia as a couple, to be honest with you, I don't think they should be together. And I know that's a hot take, and I'm sure if you read this book, you are totally rooting for them, but like, it's such a toxic scenario and they have a lot of work to do, like personally and emotionally, to get through, to be able to be together in the future. Like, they need to work on themselves before they can be with each other. You know, that's just my opinion. Kind of new angle, sorry. I have to give it to Jessa Hastings though. You nailed it. You nailed it. She was like, I am gonna set out to write a book about a toxic relationship. She knocked that ball out of the park. Absolutely nailed it. And I think one of the reasons I want to give it a 5 stars as well is because she did such a good job at sucking you into this relationship. Me personally, I felt like I was rooting for them through the whole book, mostly through the whole book. And I just couldn't put it down. It was just so enticing to me. Like, just the setting, the characters, the relationship, the messiness of it all, the writing, everything about this book was 5 stars. And the fact that it made me react, like have such an emotional reaction and so upset to the characters and like how it all played out, I have a feeling I'm going to think about this book for a long time. And I feel like, okay, when I'm reading a book and I'm enjoying it, if I have a feeling like it's like a 4-star book, there are things that are missing for me when it's a 4 stars, but I don't feel like there's anything missing from this book. Like, this is exactly the kind of feeling and emotion and what you feel going through a toxic relationship like that. And like I said, I've never experienced anything to this extent, but like, just the emotion and toxicity and destruction that a toxic relationship can be and can make you feel, she nailed it with this book. Like, totally nailed it. Like, I'm going away just so frustrated because I'm like, this is not how a relationship should be. And I mean, that's the point of the book though, you know? I think I'm gonna not be able to stop thinking about it. Like, especially the fact that I was like going back and listening to the Red album after this, I was just like, yes, every single song is just vibes of this book. But like, woof, that was a messy freaking ride. I really, really enjoyed it. And I have to read the other books. Like, there's no question. I have to read the other books because I really want to know what's going to happen too. Like, how is this all going to play out? Starbucks saved me. Man, this book messed me up, but like in a good way, you know? Like, I'm really frustrated by it, but like, I want to know what's going to happen. Another reason why I like this so much is, I don't know, I feel like if I read a romance, I don't get as attached to characters as I did with this book. And I think I really, really, really enjoyed that. Like, it was like the most beautiful disaster you could not look away from. Sad, beautiful, tragic, this book. I still have to go back and annotate the last half of the book because I read the last half of the book on my Kindle and I have everything highlighted in my Kindle, but now I gotta like actually go and highlight the book. Well, I think that does it for this reading vlog. I am really interested to see what people are going to say in the comments. I know my opinion is probably not the popular opinion, but I'm still saying I still really liked it, even though it was like, I'm not rooting for these characters to be together at all. I'm rooting for the characters individually to like form themselves into like the best version of a human being they can be. Like, they're just so messy right now. I know, and they know that they can be better versions of themselves that they're choosing not to be right now. And like, they need to like emotionally process their trauma and like process this whole relationship in order to come out the other side and maybe potentially, you know, like be able to work something out in the future. All right, if you enjoyed this reading vlog, please give me a thumbs up because this was a new experience for me. This was very much outside of my comfort zone, but I really, really enjoyed it. If you are interested in having me do a reading vlog for the next 2 books, please leave a comment down below saying so. I would absolutely love to know if you guys enjoyed this or not. But yeah, that's it. That's it for the reading vlog. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Honestly, would recommend if you are remotely interested in it, but like I said, go in with the trigger warning of cheating and toxicity. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night or whatever you're doing and have a good one. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! Hi guys, okay, bonus content. FYI, this is gonna be all spoilers. I know I ended the video yesterday, but I just went on a long run and I thought about the book pretty much the whole time I was running. And I think I came to this conclusion. So here's the deal. I've gone through my read Taylor's Version era, I skipped over 1989, entered Reputation, and I'm now coming out on Lover. So here's my thoughts on the whole scenario. This is what it all comes down to. BJ does not respect Magnolia. if he did respect her, he would have not slept with her best friend. And then on top of that, he wouldn't have slept with like 100 other women after her. If he had had respect for her, this is just my opinion, he would have tried to show his actions and show that he actually loved Magnolia by not continuing to sleep with other women. Like, I don't think he has any excuse, in my opinion, to do all of that and have Magnolia still respect him. You cannot excuse the cheating. The cheating is absolutely, that is a hard no, okay? But then if he was actually honest and wanted to prove his love to her, he wouldn't have continued to exhibit that behavior towards her. He knew that he had chances with her after that, and like, it was never really over between them, right? He continued to like sleep with other women and like not be with her and not prove himself to her. And I mean, at the same time, I'm not saying Magnolia is completely in the right here, but I'm saying I can't excuse BJ's behavior. I know the second book is about Daisy Hates, who's kind of a side character, and I'm interested to see that point of view, but I really, really want to know. I feel like there's more to the story, and I really think there is more to the story between Magnolia and BJ, but like, even if there's more to the story, I don't see how you can excuse what he did and what her best friend did to her. That makes zero sense to me. Like, literally in any circumstance, I can't understand why he would do that. If he truly respected and loved Magnolia, it doesn't make sense to me. You can't excuse it based on alcohol. You can't excuse his behavior even going forward. Like, it just... That's my opinion. Take it or leave it. Again, really enjoyed the book. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy the book. I'm just saying I'm very, very, very frustrated. Okay, all right. If you made it this far, just leave like a little broken heart emoji. Okay, bye, love you.